What's up everyone, Maximilian here, and welcome to another weapon breakdown for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. As with a lot of the breakdowns in the past, I have initially covered the weapons that are arguably more powerful and more widely used in Modern Warfare 3 as we dissect what makes them good, why they're effective, and why everybody is using them. But now that we're gotten down in the game and the lifespan of Modern Warfare 3 has had its time to settle a bit and there's been a few patches for a lot of guns, we've had an opportunity to kind of sit around and play with old weapons. Now, this weapon that I'm going to be covering is the FAD, and the FAD is, I believe, the final gun you unlock for the assault rifles in the assault rifle class. And a lot of the time, when you unlock the final weapon in a class, it's either really good or really bad, and the FAD is not extremely bad. I wouldn't consider it to be one of the worst assault rifles. However, it is absolutely a challenging weapon to use in comparison to a lot of the other weapons in this class, like the G36, the SCAR, and the ACR, especially Type 95, stuff like that. Those weapons have their very specific advantages, and each one of them does something very well, and a couple of them are very good all around. However, when it comes to the FAD, this is kind of a specialized and a specialist gun. Not really a specialist for the sense of the specialist class in Modern Warfare 3, but it's definitely a gun that is used for somebody that's looking for a challenge or you have a personal liking of the gun itself or its stats. So let's first look at the stats of the weapon to understand what we're dealing with here. Of course, the most important and thing I like looking at first is the damage of the weapon. Now, the FAD does 30 damage at close, 24 at long. Now, the really interesting thing about this is the fact that up close, you're going to be killing in about 4 shots, which is interesting for an assault rifle considering pretty much every other assault rifle takes 3 shots up close. At far, it's going to take 24, it's going to do 24 points of damage. That means that it's actually going to take 5 shots from distance. The biggest advantage of the FAD is that it has the highest fire rate amongst all the assault rifles next to like the Type 95, but the Type 95 is a 3-round burst weapon. It's actually comparable to the submachine guns and one of the fastest shooting submachine guns, which is the PP90, which we covered in a previous episode of the weapon breakdown. Now, this is the biggest draw to the FAD. The problem with the FAD is that it is comparable damage-wise to that of pretty much submachine guns. You can use a submachine gun, get similar damage output. However, you're going to have more mobility, so this is what makes the weapon challenging. And for the most part, it becomes difficult to use because you're at a disadvantage. When you have the FAD, it essentially takes 1 more shot from almost any distance than it would with any other assault rifle. That's the trade-off you make for using an assault rifle. The assault rifles kill in 1 less bullet for the most part than submachine guns do. So let's say we're using the FAD. Let's talk about the distance and what makes the weapon effective and how you need to use it effectively. And this goes from personal experience after using the gun for about 100 games. And from my personal experience, the FAD is not a long-range weapon. Its output of bullets definitely is useful, but it can be really hard to hit those long-range targets in my opinion, unless you're just hosing bullets down, and it's still not that effective. From close range, it can be a little odd. It doesn't have the greatest concentration of hip fire, but because you're spitting out bullets, it tends to be pretty effective up close. However, where I think this gun benefits the most is the medium range, which is really weird. I don't think there's any other assault rifle that has really benefit from the medium range, because most assault rifles are great from medium to long for the most part, and some fit the bill great all around, like the ACR. However, this gun, I don't think is definitely not one of the best guns in the game. It's one of the more challenging to use in my opinion, but you can be good with any weapon in Call of Duty, pretty much, unless the weapon is total garbage. I think I would actually compare the FAD in Modern Warfare 3 to the F2000 of Modern Warfare 2. So let me give you a couple of my personal uses for this gun. I actually think the FAD is best used for specialist. The reason being, you need to level the gun up all the way. So once you get it to level 28, you get extended mags. And with a lot of guns, extended mags is extremely effective and very useful, but it is especially for the FAD because of its ammo capacity. And this is another thing that's good with the FAD. It holds 40 bullets in its stock ammunition. This is actually a lot more than the usual assault rifle, so this is a good thing. It holds more rounds, but it spits out more bullets. So with the use of extended mags, it just gives you more of an opportunity to use bullets. So using things like Scavenger, I think, is a very necessary perk to be using initially with the FAD, especially if you're running something like Specialist. Besides from that, I think a silencer is very effective as well. It doesn't seem to affect kick of the weapon at all, in my personal opinion, and you definitely don't need red dot sights or holographics or thermals with this gun. It doesn't do anything really good for the weapon, and I think the iron sights of the FAD are great. There's almost no necessity to use a scope or a sight in any way whatsoever, so don't waste your attachment on that. But because I mentioned it, you're going to be using the silencer and the extended mags, I think 2 attachments is really good too. Kick would also really benefit this gun because it spits out a lot of bullets fast. However, when you're at that medium range and you don't really tackle a lot of those like long distance battles, because usually I wasn't winning too many of them against other people that had better, more effective assault rifles, the mid-range game is great for a silencer, and it doesn't really matter with kick because at that minimum range distance, that medium distance, you don't have to worry about kick too much. So if you guys eventually do get to the point where you unlock the FAD later in your prestiges or your first prestige, give it a shot. It's definitely a more challenging of assault rifle, but I think the gun looks good, and it's kind of, you know, awkwardly satisfying to perform better with a weapon that you hardly see, and it was kind of the same thing using the FN 2000 in Modern Warfare 2, so give it a shot. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, and if you want to see breakdown videos for other weapons, please leave a comment below. But if you want to check out some previous videos, we've done breakdowns for weapons like the MP7, the PP90, the Striker, the ACR, the SCAR, and many more of the overall effective weapons in Modern Warfare 3. If you want to check those out, you can view them on my channel, which is youtube.com/miles923, amongst a myriad of other enjoyable gaming videos. But as always, thank you guys very much for watching the video. This has been Maximilian, signing out.